Once again, this is a special presentation from the Responsible Nutrient Management Foundation. With me now I have Alan Hagie and Knut Lingenfelter with Hagie Manufacturing. Guys, how are we doing today?
Doing great.
Good. So Alan, tell me just a little bit, why did you and your company get involved with the Responsible Nutrient Management Foundation?
One thing that drove us to get involved was we're a purpose-driven company. We try to tie the purpose of our organization back into the lives of our employees and really get them to embrace what we're all about. We're in agriculture and we're a 67-year-old company. I think about we tie ourselves back to that purpose every time we get up every morning, and to make truly that difference is to make a difference, a positive difference in the world, and solve problems that are in the industry. And we looked at this opportunity and said, you know what, this fits perfectly with what we're all about.
Sure. So specifically with your company, what problems are you solving for the industry, and how are you helping farmers out there?
We look at it from the standpoint of making sure that we're building equipment that's doing the right things for the environment, doing the right things to make sure that our customers are profitable, making sure we're great stewards of the land by building equipment that can actually, for example, putting down fertilizers when it should be going down versus broadcasting it in the fall or in the spring and hoping it's there when it needs to be for those plants.
Yep. So Knut, tell us just a little bit specifically about the equipment that Hagie Manufacturing produces. How do those pieces of equipment help the farmer get ahead environmentally? What does your company do with the product that's a little bit different than somebody else?
First of all, I'd say that the many uses of the tractor is something that's very unique in our industry. The ability to go out and apply herbicides is kind of at the core of the industry, but the ability to go out and specifically place nitrogen or nutrients at the right place, at the right time, is something that's unique. And that's something that's at the core is very important to our company.
So, for example, and especially if you're a non-farmer and you're wondering kind of how does this, when you talk about the tractor, it's really like for us on our farm, we've used your piece of equipment specifically and taken the front boom where we would do spraying, remove that, and then we have other things that we can put on the front. So one of the things we have is coulters, so we can place the fertilizer down in the soil. We're not putting it on top of the soil, we're placing it down in the soil, really where it needs to be in season. How big a deal is that for farmers, and how much acceptance have you had of that particular piece of equipment?
The acceptance has taken a while. The tool's been around for 10 years now, and really in the last, I'd say 4 years, has really caught on, and we've seen a lot of equipment move in the industry.
What's made the difference in the last 4 years? Why are people now getting it?
It's a great question. I feel like people are becoming more conscious of the environment and economically. It's any resource that's not taken up by the crop is a waste environmentally, but also a waste economically. It's something that you paid for that's not going to be there. So the ability to place those precious inputs right where you need it, right when you need it there, has been huge. And the Hagie tractor, a 7-minute, we say 15-minute, but experienced operator can change out a boom to a toolbar in about 7 minutes. So it's very versatile. If the wind comes up or if it's not a good day to spray, a guy can go out and still use that asset to generate income or to better his crop situation.
All right, how about cover crops? You also have an attachment for seeding cover crops. Why the interest in cover crops?
It goes back to our core and being better stewards and encouraging or being part of our customers who are better stewards. Being factory direct, we're able to stay very close to the pulse of our customers, and we've set up our product development process, if you will, in a way that we can stay very close to the progressive customers, and we're able to rapidly build prototypes or a set of equipment for those customers, and that's kind of how we got into cover crops. It was something that some of our customers were asking for. There seemed to be a lot of rattle in the industry about it. Maybe not something that we want to launch full stream yet, and we were able to quickly outfit a sprayer as an OEM, quickly outfit a sprayer for cover crops, and it's done a great job.
Yeah, and one of the nice things with cover crops, not only does it help build the soil, depending on the cover crop that you're using, but also it can use nutrients that are just sitting there, and maybe we're going to be just sitting there for the next 6 months or so. It can use them right now, basically tying them up in the short term, and then make them available during the next growing season. So that's a real big factor. Yeah,
the more that we study cover crops, it seems the less we know. And it's going to be very site specific. It's going to be very intense. The culture that you put out there for cover crops, whether you want to break up compaction, sequester some nutrients, reduce surface erosion and runoff, or may use it as a forage.
Yep. So, Alan, what message do you have for non-farmers who are watching today? Why should they believe us in agriculture when we tell them, hey, we are responsibly managing our nutrients and our other resources?
I think that one thing that we need to, that non-farmers need to know is that farmers really care. You know, farmers, they want to find these solutions that solve the problems on their farms. Make sure that they're following those practices that are making sure that the soil stays in good health, because it's in their best interest to do that. They don't want to pollute the groundwater. They want to find those, go back to the solutions, they want to find those things that are going to stop that from happening. There's no more people in the world that care more about the environment than actually the people that are on that land every day.
Right. So what else in terms of looking forward down the road, what is your company hoping to do to help make things even better for farmers, for the environment, for non-farmers out there?
We want to be that company that finds the next big thing. We want to be that kind of company that is out there looking at maybe and experimenting, doing these things that maybe don't look like they're economically feasible today, but they're projects that are going to lead to that next big thing. So we look at it from the standpoint of, we've been in the industry for 67 years, and we feel like we're obligated to make sure that we're here for another 67 years, and the only way we're going to do that is if we go back to that solving the problems thing. That we're there making sure that that any of those things that are in the industry are coming from those innovations are coming from companies like ours.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. When we look at the whole population, we're maybe 1% of the population, those of us involved in agriculture. We don't have the votes, so we've got to make sure that we're coming with the right technologies, doing the right things for the environment, and then sharing that message, and that's the reason why we're talking about this today. Newt and Alan, thanks a lot for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yep.